Hello, everybody, and welcome to Math 25 College Algebra. My name is Doug Yagi, and I'm your professor and guide through this semester's journey of algebra. I know that this is somewhat of a nerve-wracking and maybe scary time for some of you because math may not necessarily be your strong point. And obviously, you've chosen to take this course in an asynchronous online format, which means that a lot of the learning is obviously going to be on your own. But that's what my job is here, is to facilitate your learning and to help you through that process. Some of you are high school partnership, which means that you're also taking high school courses in addition to this college course through Chafee. That's also an exciting time, but it means that it's going to be a bit more work on your end. So again, I want to make sure that you're aware that I'm here to help. I'm here to guide you. And anytime you have any sort of issues, make sure that you communicate with me, email me, and we'll work through it together. I'm going to take this opportunity in this video to guide you a little bit through the beginning of how to maneuver through this Canvas course, starting off by walking you through the welcome module, which you should be doing within the first day or two of this course. And then I'll show you how the structure of each weekly module is to give you an idea about how to manage your time and so on. So let's get started. So to begin, you can access this Canvas course on either your phone or through a computer. However, whenever possible, I do highly encourage you to access the course on your computer. Everything is, although it works on your phone and you can access generally most of the things on your phone, a lot of it works better if you can actually see it in a little larger scale on your computer. This is what the home screen will look like when you first access the Canvas course on your computer. And basically everything in this course, this may look a little bit different to you because I'm in teacher view, so you won't have some of the same features as I see, but I'll walk you through to show you what's important. First of all, when you come in, there's going to be recent announcements. I'll have 1 or 2 announcements per week generally, just to give you updates, kind of keep you on top of where you should be. If there's any confusion on things that I think that you may need to know, you could find those in the announcements. You could also access announcements just from a link on the left side. This is called the course navigation bar. And the first thing we'll see here is modules. Everything in this course lives in modules. So the first thing you'll want to do is click on modules, and it takes us directly to the welcome module and resources for students. The first thing you'll see is going to be the mark as done link. This is going to teach you basically how to mark each page as done once you have read through it completely. Everything will be grayed out until you work through this module in order. It's your responsibility to read each page, to make sure that you understand what every page is talking about. I spent quite a bit of time making sure that there was all the information, all the resources you would need for this course in this module. Okay. One of the first things you're going to be asked to do is this discussion introduction. The discussion introduction, it'll give you the prompt. This is the first discussion that you're going to have. We have one discussion every week with your peers, and this one explains everything about how to, what the expectations are, how many you should have each week, what the prompt is that you should be answering, and so forth. This needs to be done by well, first of all, it needs the whole welcome module and introduction needs to be done by Wednesday night at midnight. I'm just going to be honest that if you don't watch it by then, there's quite a few eager students that are on the wait list trying to add this course. You will be dropped from the course to make room for those that are eager enough to take this course. Once you move past that introduction, these are all of the links that explain everything that you'll have to do for this course. First of all, how I'm going to communicate with you, how to set up notifications on your phone through Canvas, how to upload the problem sets and exams onto Canvas. There's an app that you'll be downloading on your phone called Cam Scanner. There are other apps as well, so if you're already familiar with turning pictures into PDFs, then you can absolutely use those other apps. But this takes you through the one that I use and I think is relatively easy. Proctorio is the software that will be used for exams. Basically, it's a recording software that maintains the integrity of the exams because there's obviously you're not taking the exam with me, so it's just to verify that you are in fact the one taking the exam in an online environment. Zoom resources for any time that you need to come or want to come into our virtual office hours. This will kind of talk you through Zoom if you haven't used that very often. Moving forward, just some resources for Canvas, some useful links for math. And then once you get beyond this, these are kind of more course specific. It's important for you to read through the entire syllabus to understand what the expectations for the course are, as well as kind of the grading structure and so on. I'm going to open up our syllabus real quick, and I do want you to read through this in its entirety, but I will go ahead and talk about one particular aspect of this, which is the grading structure. This is what everybody is interested in. So there will be 34 different problem sets throughout the 14-week semester. You could see that on average, that's about 2 to 3, 2.5 assignments per week generally. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the difficulty. But those are 4 points apiece. I'll show you basically what those problem sets look like, but that alone is worth 16% of your grade. Okay. Each week there is a discussion board where you're expected to post 3 times, one to answer the initial post and 2 more times to respond to your peers. Each post, each high quality college level post is 2 points for a total of 6 points. That turns out to be almost 10% of your grade. There's another aspect. There's 5 UCLA Palm activities. These are activities, kind of modules that we, a team of math colleagues at Chafee and I have created, which help you to learn certain topics, basically how to gain mastery as experts in the field have gained mastery on certain topics. It's worth a relatively minimal part of your grade, but students in the past that have done these have done exceptionally well on the exams that include these topics. There are 5 total. I require 3. If you do all 5, you get extra credit. You can see the bulk of the grade though is going to be exams. That's not just what I do, but this is requirements from my department, the math department. Requires that generally 80 to 85% of the grade is from exams and demonstrating your proficiency in learning algebra. Basically, the idea is that if you can't demonstrate that you have learned algebra enough to be able to do it on your own, start to finish, then unfortunately you are not ready to move beyond that course. So this is essentially all of the expectations for the course that you will be graded on. In addition to this, please make sure that you're reading through all of the syllabus because it gives you a much more detailed look at all of these expectations. So if we head back to the welcome module, the next thing that you'll see here is the Math 25 handbook and optional course textbook. The optional course textbook is not really a textbook that we use. It's a free online textbook called OpenStax. It's mainly it's mainly as a resource. The Math 25 handbook, and I'll go ahead and open that one up for you, is a handbook that we have, again, a team of colleagues of mine in the last few years there was a subcommittee of the math department called MathSway that created this handbook. And this handbook is essentially what the videos will be based on, what the activities that we work on through the class will be based on. This is expected to print out or purchase through the bookstore. If you purchase it, it's just a PDF version that you could purchase through the bookstore for approximately $15. But these are the activities that we'll be working through in the videos. So as you watch the videos, it'll refer to, each of these particular activities. I highly encourage you to make sure that you are printing these up and working on them. Some people choose to just download this and use it on a tablet and then write on it directly through the tablet. That's fine, whatever you choose to do with this handbook, but definitely make sure that you're picking this up. Um, you can, if we head back to here, so schedule and pacing guide. I want to be able to open that up as well. And please make sure that you read through this and walk through it very carefully. This gives you a general pacing guide of what we will be doing throughout the 14 weeks. Please read everything in this welcome module. If it takes you 2 hours to get through this welcome module, then that's going to be 2 hours well spent. So if we take a look through here, this basically walks you through in week 1 what your expectations are going to be. The first column here is the section in the OpenStax textbook that's online. These are purely resources. This column is not required. You do not need to ever open this textbook online if you don't choose to, but this is an extra resource to help you to understand and maybe get a few more examples beyond what you work through the videos. The third column right here, the homework topic that we're going to be learning, you're going to be learning about linear equations and their graphs in week 1. And you're also going to be learning about functions and their graphs in week 1. This column is also optional, but what these links will do is they will take you to Khan Academy. This again is optional. These are purely extra resources, extra videos to watch. If you feel like beyond the videos that I provide, you need some extra resources, then this is just another option for you. The last column, the problem set handouts, are the actual problems that the actual problems you're going to be working through. So if you click on each of these, then the first thing that pops up is day 1 linear functions. This is what you are going to do and submit. I also expect that these are all printed out. I've combined all of these into a single combined PDF on here as well, so that you can access or you can print this all up at once. Went to Staples and it cost me, I believe, $4 to print this up. If you also choose to do these on your tablet and just create PDFs of these, then that's absolutely fine as well. But even though this might look a little daunting at first, it shouldn't be daunting once you watch the videos and engage with your peers and look through exercises and examples through the online textbook. If you have questions, I'll demonstrate how to or where to go to ask those questions as well. But these are the problem sets that you're going to be turning in. So going back to the schedule and pacing, you can see in week 1, you're expected to read the welcome module in its entirety and do problem sets 1 and 2. Now, a week generally goes from Monday to Sunday evening. The second week will then begin on Monday, and then it'll go to the following Sunday. So in week 2, you'll have 2 sections. Week 3, you'll have 3. Week 4, you'll have 2. And then at the end of that week, you will have your first exam. So you could just continue to follow through the schedule and pacing guide to get an idea about what you should be going through at each time. As I mentioned before, please read everything. If we head back to the welcome module, the next page that you'll see is an open forum. This is an opportunity for you to discuss any general questions that you have with anything about the course, anything related to certain problems on the problem set. You can post your questions there and ask your peers and ask me, see if somebody can help you out, somebody that maybe has already done that problem. And what I encourage you to do is don't just say, can somebody explain linear equations? I don't get it. Instead, say, I've looked through the section on linear equations and I understand how to create an equation and what the numbers in the equation mean. But for number 3, I'm having difficulty finding the slope. Be specific so that people can actually be specific in their answer. The next link you'll see is the professor's visiting hours. Each week I have 5 different visiting hours for you to come see me. Some of those are online, and if you live close enough to the campus in Rancho Cucamonga, then you can come visit me in my in-person office hours as well. Sometimes none of those office hours necessarily work because of conflicts with school or work. I try to be flexible as much as I can. I'm always available through email. but sometimes if there's a time that I can make work for a Zoom session, I can try to accommodate and send an announcement. And if you can make one of those times, then hopefully you can do so. Next is the topics list for exams. This will outline specific topics that you will see on each exam. And in addition to that, it will map it to particular problems that you would have done in the problem sets. The problem sets will always have solutions for them as well, so that you can check your work versus my solutions. And so it'll give you more of a targeted idea of specific types of problems to be familiar with. The exams look very, very similar to problems that you will see from the problem sets. So if you can perfect those and become very proficient with those, then you should be ready for your exams. The next link is the STEM Success Center and Student Support Hub. This is where to get extra help if you need it through online hours of tutoring or workshops. And you can access that either through here, or if you go over to the global navigation menu on Canvas, you could click on the student support, and that will take you directly to the all kinds of options for student support at Chafee, but one of which is the Success Centers. Once you finish this welcome module, which you should definitely finish by the Tuesday evening of this first week, you would then be able to move into week one. Now you can see that I have not yet updated the dates, but those will be updated soon. And each module will essentially be set up in the same way. The week one overview and expectations will just tell you specifically what you will be learning that week. Every weekly module will also have a link to the problem set and general course questions forum, which is the location where you can ask your peers questions and converse in a way as if you were having discussions in class. The first discussion for this week, beyond the discussion introduction, is to create a weekly planner. This is going to give you a better idea of how to manage your time, because in order to be a college student, time management is critical. Some people procrastinate way too much, and unfortunately they end up dropping the class. They realize that they got in over their head because they aren't putting aside ahead of time the time that they're going to need. So creating a weekly planner, and I'll walk you through how to do so, is going to give you an idea about how to show when you work, show when your classes are, show when you are planning on going to the gym to work out, planning your sleeping hours, whatever that might be, just so that you can give the time to the class that's necessary. In a general in-person 14-week class, you would expect to be in class for 5 hours per week. The standard for college courses is that a student would spend approximately 2 hours a week for each hour spent in class on things like studying and tutoring and working on homework and so on. So that would mean that in a 5 hour a week class, you would spend an additional 10 hours outside of class. So that's an accumulation of 15 hours per week for a 14-hour class, whether it's online or in person. In fact, online, a lot of times, because you're spending time learning this on your own and watching videos and trying to internalize that, sometimes it may take longer. Sometimes it may take a little less, depending on the student and depending on how much is in that week. But it's really important to make sure that you enter this class ready to hit the ground running and understand that it is going to take you much more than just, say, 2 hours a week, which is not going to be nearly sufficient to really learn the material to the level that you should. Beyond that, once you get past discussions, then you will see a lesson and its corresponding problem set. A lesson and its corresponding problem set. You move to the next week, you'll see a discussion. This is a DLA, but these are all extra credit. These are to be done in the online STEM Success Center. But I do highly encourage you guys to do these, especially if you could find the time to do so. You'll see links for the solutions to the Exam 1 problem sets. I encourage you not to look at these until you have given it a really good, solid effort to try these problems on your own, start to finish, without referring to anything. But these are my worked out solutions, so you could see how you should have been doing the problems. But then you'll see again another lesson and another problem set. Any of these UCLA Palms are what I mentioned in the syllabus. These are activities that will help you to really gain mastery at some of the more important aspects of this class. But you'll see that certain weeks will have more lessons and problem sets, some will have less, and so on. But each week, you should make sure that and weeks begin on Monday and they end on Sunday. You should see that each week, you should make sure that you look on Monday and map out exactly what you're going to need to do at which time. So that should be a good amount of information to get you started off on the right foot. It's your job now to move through that welcome module, and hopefully the rest of the questions that you may have are answered as you read through each of those links. Spent a lot of time to make sure that this course is very robust and gives you all the resources that you need. But keep in mind that I'm here to help, as are your peers. Be a help to your peers, just as you would if you were in class. Go into that discussion forum on Problem Set Forum to ask questions and also answer questions. Not only do I give extra credit for doing so for every high quality answer that you give to a student, but you'll notice that it can really be beneficial when you realize that you're all working to the same end. So if you have any questions, make sure to email me, contact me, keep in contact with me. If there's ever any barriers or issues that arise, then make sure that you communicate that to me, because I am here to help and I'm a very reasonable person. Hopefully this semester goes well for you, and by the time we get to the end, everybody's successful. Good luck.